And be sure to put your first name, like I had said, for those who are just scrolling in. We need your first name when you post a question, because for some reason we're not getting the first name coming up here in our questions box. So go ahead, Leo, you can take over, and thanks for coming, guys.
Thanks a lot, Mario, and thanks to everyone who came early and on time. So, just like last week, what you can expect pretty much in this webinar. Last week we focused on how to actually make the sale for SEO clients. Once you're on the phone with them, how to make the sale, what exactly to say, and all that good stuff. But we didn't go over how to find clients. Where do you prospect? Where do I get people to even agree to come on the phone with me? So what you can expect from this webinar is exactly that. I've been using two sources of client getting for 2 or 3 years now, and it's never really failed me. And the same like the last webinar, there isn't going to be any pitches in this. It's going to be pure value. But if you stay till the end, there will be a really cool offer to actually get help directly from me for absolutely free. So enjoy this value, guys. And of course, if you have any questions throughout, just hit it up in the chat box, include your name, and let's have some fun. So this training is for you if you know a bit about digital marketing and you want to break into doing it for clients. Or you've tried getting clients, but you hate cold calling, you hate hard selling and meeting prospects in person. Or, if you've already sold a couple of clients, but you're struggling to get consistent new sales, which is the biggest problem that I see. And this training is also for you if you want to only spend, $0 to $10 per month and get endless leads that need SEO. And I'm going to show you the website that allows me to do just that. So do me a favor before we start. Forget what you know about getting digital marketing clients. There's a lot of info out there. As far as I know, I'm the only blog that actually focuses only on SEO sales, but no one else is doing this stuff. No one is doing this method, and no one else is definitely teaching this stuff. Okay, so there's a little keep calm and forget it for the UK people in here. And yeah, that's all I want you to do is just sort of come with an open mind, learn new stuff, and let's have fun. Okay, so who am I, right? A lot of you came through Mario, not really sure who I am. So just a really quick, I'm not going to toot my own horn for a long time. I started in digital marketing about 3 years ago, and I started with Amazon ebooks. And what I did was I realized that I needed to sell ebooks on Amazon in order for people to be able to buy them on their little Kindle devices. And the truth is that anyone can publish an ebook overnight. I read this article last week about people, there's journalists who literally just wrote like 3 words in a book and became a bestseller on Amazon, just to show how easy it is. But what I had to do is I had to learn the algorithm there. And when I learned the algorithm, I realized, I'm pretty good at beating out these search engines. So that naturally led me to, the classic Google search, how to make money online, all that sort of stuff. And what that led to was me realizing instead of just learning marketing for myself and starting my own business, I can actually just take all this new stuff I was learning about beating algorithms and whatnot and selling it to people that already had businesses. So that's why I started to get clients. And I literally stumbled into client SEO by accident. And from there on out, 3 things happened at the same time. So I quit my job, I dropped out of school, and I moved into a new place with, pretty much only a couple clients and still the ebook selling, but I had no idea what I was going to do from there. And then I stumbled into, these 2 methods that allowed me to just get more and more clients. Okay, so that's it for me. If you want to learn more about me, you can, I'll give you resources at the end, but I'm not going to toot my own horn here for too long. Quick question for everyone. Have you ever believed in the tooth fairy? Give me a 1 in the comments if you ever believed in the tooth fairy. Okay, of course, everyone's doing 1. Now, someone said, no. But the truth is that you believed in the tooth fairy, you believed in whatever it was when you were growing up because people told it to you, but you were very susceptible to this belief. So the idea here is that I want you to not only just forget what you know about marketing, but I want you to believe that the stuff that we're about to do is very plausible. The same way that you actually believe the tooth fairy existed, and you might have done crazy things like putting your teeth under your pillow. Okay, so that's what I want you to go into this webinar thinking. And I'm going to be showing you how exactly you can build a six-figure client-based business with a small number of clients who all come to you. If you think about the math, you don't really need that many clients in order to make six figures. You only need $8,300 per month, and that can come from 4 to 6 clients very easily. Okay, so guys, I'm going to answer a lot of these questions you're asking near the end. So just sort of hold on to them unless this is something you really don't understand. After watching this webinar, you're going to be getting profitable leads that will come to you consistently. You can also add 20K in yearly income from each new client, because if each one pays at least $2,000 per month, you can do the math. Okay? You can have prospects choose you even if you never sold something before. And last but not least, you'll be getting in front of prospects that are actively searching for your type of digital marketing services. So most people here do SEO. I do PPC as well, like Google AdWords. But the main and most important part of all this is that it's not just sort of getting in front of people who we think we can sell to. It's getting in front of people that are actually searching for someone to hire in SEO. So imagine a company was coming, posted a job somewhere and needed to hire an SEO, a freelancer, or whatever, and then all of a sudden you were there. You knew where to go to find people who were actively searching. You knew where every company went when they wanted an SEO. And that's what got me really excited when I first discovered this. Okay, so here's just some screenshots. I'm not going to show too many, what the potential is. Many people are like, what's considered a high client? $500, $1,000. Here's one for just under $2,000 per month, after the PayPal fees. Okay. This is one of my favorite clients. They're a non-for-profit in New York. Okay, here's a screenshot from my Stripe account, another $2,000 US client. Here's one of my highest ones. It's $3,150 recurring. Okay, and this is for PPC for a client in Montreal. Here's another one for $1,250 times 2 months paid in advance. Okay, guys, can I just keep going? Do I have to show more of these? Let's just keep going because I don't like tooting my own horn. But all this can be replicated without cold calling or hard selling, without having to spend a lot of money or even prospecting, having to spend a lot of money prospecting. And there's some methods that you don't need to spend any money at all. And last but not least, meeting anyone in person ever. Almost all of my clients right now, I meet on the phone. Last time I got a client in person was last year in October. And I had to drive all the way to their office, spend 2 hours driving, meeting, driving back, getting lunch, all that stuff, and I'll never do that again. So I used to say that people don't even need to know how to do SEO or anything like that, but the truth is you still can get away with outsourcing or hiring employees to take care of the work, but you should still be confident that you can do the work. Okay, and this is not like some push button thing. You definitely need to put in the work and know how to do some of what you're selling. You can't just not know SEO and then sell it. All right, but you don't need to ever meet someone in person in order to sell to them. And it's not because I'm a genius. All I did is I asked myself 2 questions. Where can I go to find people actively searching for digital marketing services? And the second question is, how can I get in front of these business owners' faces and have them choose me? Okay, 2 questions. Where are they and how can I get in front of them? So, quick question. Let me know if this is you. Have you ever spent a ton of time and money trying prospecting methods that don't work? Or have you ever tried Facebook ads to get clients but got nothing? Are you afraid of picking up the phone to bother business owners and try to sell them something? Is it you if you would definitely take on a recurring income client if they came to you, but you don't feel like you can compete with massive agencies? And someone in the question just asked, how can I compete? Is it you if you understand it takes money to make money with clients, but you don't want to take the risk without a clear step-by-step process. Give me one if any of these resonate with you in the questions box. Give me one. All right, of course, the ones. Of course, everyone's experienced one of these, and this is what we're going to try to accomplish. Okay, I love how active you guys are. Don't be afraid to ask questions, hit up the ones, all that stuff. So if you answered yes to any of those questions, then you're still in trouble. Sorry to break it to you. If you sit all day sifting through Google, trying to find prospects, how much time are you going to waste? Even if you had a budget, how much are you going to spend to try and beat a massive agency? If you're not focused on clients, how sustainable is your business model doing marketing for yourself? Okay, so there still is an issue. Now, I was in trouble too, but luckily I found a solution. There's hope for you if you follow along closely, okay? So let's actually get into the meat of this and start showing you where this stuff is, all right? But first, why should we take on clients? All right, a lot of you in the beginning, Mario asks, who does affiliate SEO, right? A lot of people said, I do affiliate, I do clients. But why I think clients are better, I'll spend a little bit of time on this. So the first benefit is you get paid every month recurring. You know, you add another client and you add even more to your base income. So if you had a $2,000 paying client, you get another $1,000 paying client. The next month you're at $3,000. It adds to that main recurring revenue. The second benefit is you get paid up front before even doing any of the work. Okay, you literally do not have to do any of the work before getting paid. Your income doesn't disappear in one shot like other business models. So this is shout out to all the affiliate guys out there. You know what it's like when your site goes down or anything bad happens in Google, like an update, you're just stuck with nothing. Your income disappears. But with clients, you have a chance to sort of fix it, that you can tell them, you know, that you're going to look into it, all that stuff. It's not like they disappear all in one night. It's a real business. All right, you don't need to know how to do all of the work. So I'm really good at on-page SEO. I don't do a lot of my own off-page SEO. I know how to, but you don't need to do it. You can always get other people to do the work. With affiliate, it's really much harder to do that. And last but not least, there's no upfront money needed to acquire them. So you can actually, with one of these methods, spend $0 and still be in front of them just as much as I am. Right? People are asking about how can you not need money? And I'm going to show you a website where you need $0 in order to get access to, where people are actively posting jobs for SEO people. Okay, and we're not going to get a job here. We're going to take them on as clients to grow our own little agency. All right, so there's different types of prospects. The first prospect is tech savvy or not tech savvy. Okay, so the guy who knows everything about SEO, he knows who to hire, what to hire for, he wants links, you know, all that stuff. And there's people who have no idea. Then there's people who have been burned before. Okay, this is most common. They've tried an SEO before, it didn't work out. You know, it's just an issue with hiring again. They really don't want to do it. Then there's the inbound versus outbound. So there's people who will come to you, who will go to your website, call your phone number, email you, asking for a strategy session, all that stuff. And outbound would be you doing like a cold call, cold email, sending a physical package to them, trying to get their attention. The fourth type is active searchers. So people who are realize that even if they've been burnt or whatever it is, they know that they need SEO and they're going to actively search for it. So they're going to go post a job online. They're going to post, you know, something in the newspaper maybe, and they're going to ask everyone, you know, help me find an SEO for my business. And then the last one is people that are warm to the idea. So they're not actively searching, but they're warm to the idea and they're willing to reach out for a call. All right. So now that we know these two types of clients, the 5 types of prospects, what I want to focus on is inquiring just the last 2 types. Okay, the last 2 types, remember, were active searchers and people warm to the idea. Okay, and we're going to focus on acquiring just those 2 because it allows us to grow without waiting for prospects to come around. You know, for people that are cold calling and all that stuff, there's a lot more work involved. But if you just sort of set everything up once and have the clients come to you, either in a funnel or in one of these websites I'm going to show you, then you don't really need to actively do any searching. They're actively searching and you're just appearing in front of them. So here's a question. If someone knew you were great at SEO and saw your results and emailed you asking you for help, do you think you could sell SEO to that person? Would they be willing to pay more? Okay, give me a yes or no in the question box. Would you be able to sell someone, $1,000, $2,000 package if they actively search for you, they saw your results and all that stuff? Okay, everyone's saying yep, 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 yep. And the answer is of course, right? If they're actively searching for you and they know you're the best, then obviously it's going to be easier. But the question remains, how do we find these business owners, or how do they find us? And how can we start right away? Okay, and by the end of this call, you'll actually be able to start right away. Okay? So let's get into it. So the cost per click on AdWords to get SEO clients is sky high, okay? If you look at affordable SEO companies, there's one that I grabbed. It's 590 search volume per month, so it's a lot of people are searching for affordable, but it costs $40 for every time someone clicks. Okay, so big agencies and big companies are willing to spend that, but that doesn't guarantee that they're qualified prospects, right? All it guarantees is that someone is just looking around for SEO, they might be interested, and they're looking for cheap SEO because they search for something like affordable SEO company. So in short, don't do AdWords, it's too expensive. But here's the Untapped method number one, all right? Instead of competing with those companies on AdWords, why don't we just join one of those companies that are posting on AdWords? All right, what do I mean by this? So a freelancing website advertises just as much as those big companies. They're free to join and we can be on the other side of the advertising. So here is a screenshot of freelancer.com or .ca posting an ad for people searching to hire an SEO company. So I have a business, selling plumbing. I want to hire an SEO. I Google hire an SEO, and instead of getting, some SEO agency, I'm getting this freelance site that's saying hire a freelance SEO, finish your project, get a free quote, all that stuff. And then when I click on the link, I'm going to get a result of all the SEOs I can hire on their website. Okay, but I don't have to pay a penny to be a member on that website, but they're doing all the advertising for me. They're bringing in the plumbers, they're bringing in all these clients. Okay, but you may be thinking, aren't these sites or people overseas looking to work for peanuts? That plumber might just be willing to hire someone for like $500 a month, and I want high-paying clients. It's true, but we want to use these sites as a tool to get invited to private jobs from big companies. Okay, so we're not just going to be posting a bunch of, proposals asking for $200 per month jobs. We're going to get invited, and how do we get invited? It's because people search for people in their own city. Okay, you can see my inbox is full in Elance, and I'm ranked number 1 in SEO. Okay, I believe this was for Canada. Yeah, you can see right there in the middle, this is all freelancers Canada SEO. Now, for those of you who are familiar with this, like, oh, Elance shut down, now they turned into Upwork, and also Odesk shut down, turned into Upwork. So Elance and Odesk both merged and turned into another site called Upwork. But guess what? As of last week, I'm ranked number 1 in Upwork. And I did this really, really easily using the same methods I used in Elance. So I decided to hop on Upwork and do the same thing. And you can see for Toronto SEO, which we spoke in the beginning is the city I'm from, I'm ranked number 1. And if you search SEO Toronto, I'm also ranked number 1. And for all these other terms related to my city, my country, SEO, I'm ranked really, really well. Okay, so here's a screenshot of that. So how did I do this? Okay. The result is countless invites. Okay, I'll get to how I do it in a moment. And what I mean by invites is people will search for that. Like they'll search for Toronto SEO, they'll click on invite or hire me, and they'll invite me to a job. And I'm getting around 6 to 10 invites per day. Literally waking up every day to invites in my inbox from people who are, inviting me to these jobs. And they're willing to pay more because it's a private job and they chose me personally after seeing my results. Okay, so here's an example of a private job invite. You see the guy posted for SEO and he went straight to my profile, and you can see this because the actual job description has my name in it. It says, "Hi Lior, I have a flooring company based in Australia. I'm wanting to know if you can provide some SEO services, what type of plans you have. I put $5 in the budget as I'm not too sure at the moment what you can offer." Okay, obviously his budget's not $5 because he spent a lot more on the site. But the idea is he created a job only for me. Other people were applying to it, everything like that, but the job said, "Hey Lior," because he found me. Here's another example for a cufflink site. Okay, "Hi Lior, I need help with SEO. Can you please contact me? My site is blank." All right, this is a job. On Upwork, you cannot message someone privately. You cannot just find a freelancer and message them. You have to create a whole job, and every time they create a job for me only, I get invited. But there's another type of invitation. Someone can post a job and then allow everyone to be invited, but they'll also invite me among everyone else. Okay? But we're just using this site to find and attract leads. We're not using the site to hire. Then we take them off as private clients, okay? So it's a bit badass, but that's the way I've been doing it for several years now. So if you saw my screenshot from the profile, it only showed 3 hours worked, and I only have a couple jobs in there from a long time ago, okay? But what I do now is I get on the phone with them. Once we actually make the sale, they honestly, if they forget where they came from, and we just take everything off so that my reputation, they can't give me a bad review. They're releasing the funds upfront anyway, so they have to close the job. There's a whole bunch of reasons. So we take them off as private clients into PayPal like you saw before. And so if someone was actively looking for SEO, found this site, and then found your profile, and then sent you a private invite asking for help, do you think you could sell them your services? Okay, here's another question for you. Yes or no? Do you think you could sell them your services if they sent you a private invite asking only you for their help? Okay. Some people are confident. Okay, good. Now, there's another version of this, right? You're not just selling them your services, they're privately inviting you to their jobs. Meaning, if you spoke to them on the phone, they're going to be spending an hour with you on the phone, maybe, maximum an hour, and they don't have the time or the energy to speak to anyone else. So even if you charge higher or quote them higher, they're more willing to just go forward with you because trust me, when I've hired on these sites, I speak to, let's say, like 2 or 3 people. I don't want to speak to anyone else. Like, it wastes so much time. As long as the guy gave me a good sales pitch, I'm just willing to go with it. If he looks good, I'm willing to go with it. So all you really need to do is make your profile look good, rank highly on the sites, and you'll be able to sell them. There's not going to be an issue there. All right. They also look for very local talent. So as I was ranking for Toronto, here is a guy who owns an IT company. So it says, we own an IT company in the GTA, which just means another word for Toronto. Our SEO sucks. Okay, we're on page 20. We need to do better. I'm in Oakville, which is a city right beside Toronto. Perhaps we can talk on the phone. He literally gives me his number publicly in this message. Okay? So this was shocking, and this was actually a great client. So they don't only just post jobs and find you based on your city, they post jobs for people around their city. All right? So how do we rank higher on these sites? I did research on all of these sites, Upwork, Elance, Odesk, Guru.com, Freelancer.com, and I also tested multiple so I know what works for each one. I can't go into too much detail right now, but it boils down to competitor research, right? This takes me like usually 2 weeks to teach this to people. But it's just like a search engine if you think about it, right? The Upwork search, it really is a search engine. It's just an old version of Google because it's very easy to rank in. And what I did is I reverse engineered my competitors. I went to their profiles. I found out what the hidden stuff they were doing was, and I just one-upped them. If they had the keyword a certain amount of times, I'd put it one more time in. And I would keep one-upping them until I got to the top. Okay? And what can you do in the meantime before getting invites? So you can tend to send a ton of proposals, but make them pop, all right? And here's how to stand out. The best way is to use a ton of ranking proof, right? You don't need a portfolio of clients. You can make it custom to each job, and you can keep being active, and you will rank, all right? Guys, some people are asking if they can already get the link to buy. This is not a sales pitch. And I know it might sound salesy, but I'm not selling you anything. I love that. Someone already wants to buy, but I'm not selling anything. Okay. So what can you do in the meantime? So it does take a bit of time to rank. Actually, this week when I put my final touch, it took about 45 seconds to rank. So I made a quick edit on the phone live with someone, and I started ranking number one. And I posted that on Facebook last night, and I got a whole bunch of messages. But that's just ranking highly. To stand out, you need to use ranking proof. So this is proof that you'll get from your contractor, your outsourcer, your employee. You don't need a portfolio of clients either, because all you have to do is get a couple of reviews from friends and family, and that should do well. And if you make it custom to each job, when people are inviting you to a job and you just don't send them a copy paste thing, you actually make it stand out, it's going to get you noticed, okay? Because the people that apply from all these random countries, random by random, I mean non-English speaking, so people are really racist that post these jobs. It makes you stand out. If you can speak English, you're on this webinar, then you can already stand out, all right? If you keep being active on the site, meaning you apply to jobs, you don't let them invites just die out or anything like that, you will rank, okay? And the most important thing is you don't need to rank number one in order to get invited, only top 30. And the reason for that is because in the top 30, when someone posts a job, the next page says, do you want to invite everyone to this job? And then most people are like, yeah, whatever, I don't want to start going through profiles, I'll just click invite all. So they'll click invite all, and then when they click invite all, if you were in that top 30, based on his criteria, which countries you wanted from, which cities, how good the freelancer has to be, then you'll automatically get invited to this job. And then in your inbox the next day, you have an invite. Okay, someone wants to speak to you. And if you're there pretty early, you have a chance to get them on the phone. Okay, so you don't need to rank number one. I just happen to be good and rank number one, but you can rank top 30 and you're fine. All right, so why are these sites so good? Okay, Upwork's not the only one, by the way. There's Guru.com, Freelancer.com, whole bunch of them. So these sites are so good because clients are pre-sold on the idea of digital marketing. They're just looking for good results and are willing to pay for it. They're coming with these job postings saying, I need SEO. You don't need spend weeks to speak to them, just days. So it'll take me, let's say, a couple of days just to convince them to get on the phone. And then within that day of getting on the phone, they're already a client. I'll never, ever, ever make it last more than that one call. I don't do any follow-ups. And like we mentioned before, you never need to meet them in person. It's all on the phone. Okay, you can turn to someone else on the site and outsource it right back out. I don't recommend this, but you can essentially find the people to do the work for you on the same site that you got it for. And the last benefit I didn't mention here is that these sites are bringing in members actively. So they're paying for AdWords and all that stuff. So that's pretty much the best part about it, because you don't have to spend any money. It's free to join these sites. I mean, there is a little bit of a fee if you want to get like better features on the site, but it's completely free to join. All right, let me just grab a drink of water. All right, so anybody can do this. The first thing you're going to do is choose a freelancing site that's popular. All right, right now the biggest ones, Guru.com, Freelancer.com, and Upwork.com. All right, I've been on all of them. I've emailed all of them, spoke to support on all of them. They're pretty competitive. But recently, Elance and Odesk shut down to turn it to Upwork, so they have the most members. So it depends on what kind of things you want to do. Someone already said, I made my Upwork account. That's awesome. Just now they made it. Pay attention to the webinar though. Don't go, making accounts and searching for me, because, everything I'm showing you is important. So once you set up a profile and optimize to stand out, you're going to start ranking higher. So the third step is rank higher than your competitors above you. All right, and it's different types of rankings. There's ranking for your keywords, there's ranking for your city, different types of searches. But you have to decide what's important to you. Then you're going to run proposals to relevant jobs in the meantime. All right, so that means when people post a job, you can't just message the guy. You have to send a proposal. You have to say, well, here's what I can offer you. Here's what we should do, etc. Here's how much I charge. Then you get responses from these people and set meetings with prospects. Now, the most important thing in all this is getting a response, because once you send a proposal, you can't message the person again. So the proposal better be something with an incentive in order for them to respond to you, so that you can follow up and get them on the phone. All right, and that's pretty much what I specialize in. So then you're going to close them, get referrals, and grow your client base. All right, does this make sense so far, guys? Getting some questions. All right, someone asks, do you think it's worth ranking in a city of 400,000 population, or should we stick to the big 1 million plus areas? The best way to do this is to actually go on the site and see what the competition is like for each city. So you're going to go into the city, figure out pretty much who's ranking for which keywords, and see if you can beat them, okay, using the methods I just mentioned. All right, so yeah, hold your questions to the end. I mean, you can ask them now, I'll get to them later, but don't get upset at me if I don't answer them all now. All right, so this all makes sense so far? Let's move forward. So the second untapped method, number 2, is the not so dreaded Facebook ads. Now, everyone dreads Facebook ads. Some people get excited about them. Some people love the idea of it. Some people have tried it and it's just way too hard. All right, and trust me, I've been spending over or close to $1,000 a week on Facebook ads. In the beginning, it feels like a complete waste of money. Paying that credit card bill, it's brutal. But you really don't need to spend even more than $5 to $10 a day. So why Facebook? Everyone has it. Yes, even the massive business owners have Facebook. All right, the CPCs, which is the cost per clicks on every ad you run, are pennies compared to AdWords, right? I can get clicks for like 40 cents, whereas when I just showed you the AdWords screenshot for affordable SEO company, that was $40. Okay, that's ridiculous. So yeah, you want to stick to cheaper ad sources like Facebook. Facebook also allows you to target only business owners, right? On AdWords, we can't know if the people are business owners or what they are, right? It's just purely business owners if we want it to be, all right? You can also start with a tiny budget of $5 per day. So this is what I do in the beginning. I'll start with a really small budget, make sure the funnel works and everything like that. I'll get some clients, and then boom, I'll scale it up to, like I said, last week I spent $600 just promoting one of these funnels. All right, and it is the perfect inbound funnel because you can turn on and off the switch. Because it's automated, you're having clients click on the ads, fill out your funnel, apply to you, all that stuff. You don't have to run it all the time. You can literally go on vacation, turn them off, come back, turn them back on, and you have these clients and these strategy sessions booking on their own. All right, and once it works, you just scale to the moon and choose different niches all day long. Okay, so that's why I love Facebook. It's dreaded because it can seem complicated, right? Most people and most agencies are doing it wrong though, and I see this all the time in my own newsfeed. I've even seen big agencies run ads directly to their contact form. So I'll see this new big SEO agency running an ad, or I'll see some big company running an ad on Facebook. I'll click on it, and it's like, click here or apply here to speak to us. They didn't give any value. They didn't push people into a video. They didn't ask for their email address. They're just saying, hey, contact us. It's ridiculous how they're spending and wasting money just setting to a contact form. Like, how do I know what you offer, what you do, and you expect me to contact you? So this is the actual step. So the first thing you're going to do is create the Facebook funnel. All right, this doesn't mean the ad. This means the websites and the landing pages involved. So I like to use ebooks and sales videos that provide value, like case studies and all that sort of stuff. Then I send traffic directly to landing pages to collect leads first from the ad. So you can also send them to a valuable blog post and then retarget those people to the landing page. So I have, thousands of people reading my blog posts every month. They get retargeted towards, a landing page that collects a lead, and then they'll get the ebook or whatever it is they want. Okay. Then you're going to set up a page with your content and let them consume the information. So this is either in the form of the ebook you promised or the video you promised. But at the end of the ebook or the end of the video, you're going to offer to apply for a strategy session at the end where you can sell them your services. All right, you can get them on the phone for SEO and sell them SEO. But what info do we put in the video or in the book? So you can include high-level action steps that give aha insights into digital marketing. Okay, an aha insight is like, imagine the first time that you learned about SEO or the first time you learned about collecting leads, right? How important it is. That sort of thing was like an aha moment for you. Like, oh yeah, that makes sense. So that's the type of stuff you want to add. You don't want to get too detailed. You want to just add these high-level steps, but that are still actionable, right? Similar to how I'm doing here. And I'll do this by creating a compelling promise and then deliver on that with, 3 steps to this, 2 methods to that, 4 steps, whatever it is that I'm promising. I'll keep the message consistent. Then you can explain your story and boost your authority with social proof, your testimonials, clients you've worked with, ranking proof. I pretty much only do this with ranking proof and screenshots for SEO. Then you don't want to get into too much detail, but you want to make them quick steps that they understand, right? So the main rule is details bore, concepts excite. Okay. Now let's get into the ads portion. Now that we have our video or we have our ebook ready, how do we target business owners on Facebook? All right. So the first thing is you have to niche down. There's no other option. You can't just choose every male, over 25 that owns a business. It has to be a niche so that our message can be very specific to that niche. Once you choose a niche, graph search is your best friend. Okay, graph search is that bar at the top of Facebook, which is really the search bar, but you can ask it smart questions. You can go right now to graph search and say, find me or show me people that like a certain page that also like another page, or show me my friends that are also friends of this person, and you can keep doing that to find these very special pages that are related to everyone in your niche. Okay, and like when you do that, you're going to notice the first things you get are the magazines, right? Associations, celebrities. So if I say show me pages liked by people that like Photoshop, I'll get a photography magazine, I'll get Association of Photographers, I'll get some photography celebrity, I'll get Adobe Lightroom, and I know because I've done this before. And then what you're going to do is you're going to add each of those pages, or interests they're called, to a different ad set one by one. And the best is to use a power editor. And when you create each ad set, you don't want to create or throw them all into one, right? Because if you throw them all into one, we won't know which interest was actually producing us the results. But if we separate each one out one at a time, we'll know for sure. And most importantly is to choose small business owner from the behavior targeting. Okay, when you search for behavior targeting, or rather you put that in, it ensures that everyone that sees the ad is actually a small business owner. All right, and of course, starting locally, so you can use your own city and your name and stuff like that in the ads is going to be the best. So by putting it only in Toronto for me and saying, dentist in Toronto, that funnel is going to be very, very specific. The guy's going to be, a bit shocked that all of a sudden he's a dentist he's scrolling on Facebook and he sees, an ad for dentists in Toronto to get more leads. Okay, I only use dentists because my brother's a dentist. So yeah, you start locally, and that's pretty much how you set up your ads. All right. So guys, what if you could pop up in front of these business owners' faces every single time on Facebook and on the freelancing sites that we mentioned? So you have two options at this point. First of all, is that something that you'd be interested in? Pretty much getting on Facebook, getting your ads set up, all that sort of stuff, getting ranked on the freelancing sites, getting private invites like I do. Is that something you're interested in before I continue? Okay, people are saying, yep, absolutely. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, good. So you have two options at this point. Okay, you've seen this webinar. You know pretty much what you have to do from a high-level overview. You have two options. The first is to try to accomplish all this yourself and spend thousands of dollars on ads just to waste your time and money getting frustrated. Okay, and this is what I did for about a year. And your second option is to learn the proven system from somebody who has not only done it, but still does it for himself and mastered it. Okay, that's me. So if you're smart, you're going to go with option 2 and decide to work with me. And here is what I'm offering. Okay. Over the next week, I've cleared up my calendar and I set aside time to chat with each and every one of you to see if I can help you achieve exactly what we just mentioned. And here's what you can expect once we start chatting. So you're going to get an action map on how to rank higher on freelance sites and get invited to private jobs. You're going to be the top go-to marketing guy in your area online. You're going to be able to get clients in a certain niche to recognize you as authority and want to pay you to help them. You're going to start getting paid $1,000 to $3,000 per month, clients in days, literally. And I'll show you people who've done that. Okay, so here's my most recent client, John, who got on the phone with me, started working with me, and he also has a full-time job. So he just messaged me last week that with his job and everything, with the SEO he's been doing, he reached $10,000 and $1.28 per month this month alone. Okay, this is within 4 weeks of working with me. And then he tells me that he's going to get a BMW, or not the BMW, he's going to get the new Tesla that everyone's going crazy about. Then Monday, which is yesterday, he tells me I'm at the bottom of the first page on Upwork for local SEO. That's a huge win for him, and I was super excited. Okay. So if this sounds like something that could help you and you want to skyrocket your business income just like John did, let's talk. All right. What we're going to do is we're going to talk for about 45 minutes, and I'll map out an exact plan for you to follow so you can hit 5 figures per month this year. So this is a free strategy session, and it'll probably be the most valuable 45 minutes you spend working on your business this year. All right. So what have people said about my training? So here are some screenshots from old courses I've done and also recent courses I've done. So Ray says, I want to thank Alex Becker and Leo Han for all the information. I just closed a client from Odesk for $1,000 setup and $500 a month. Patrick says, I've closed over $1,000 in services from Elance in the last week and a half. Okay. Caesar says, thanks, Leo. This is the inbox that I get home to after applying a strategy in just 2 days. It's actually more than this. Derek is actually one of my best students. He's within 9 weeks, he's at $7,500 per month in sales. And now he's actually like traveling all over the world with his girlfriend. I'll show you a bit more about that soon. Brad says, all right, I'm hoping to start getting the Leo Rohane effect where I start racking up SEO clients. Just closed 2 this week back to back. Jeremiah says, I just picked up my first 2K a month client this morning using Leo's client sales video. 5-day results. Caesar again says he received 6 invitations today alone. I love you, dude. I believe your method will help me quit both my jobs. I've also landed a casino client from it. Eternal gratitude. All right, so I'm not going to toot my own horn anymore, but did I mention that this is an obligation free and it won't cost you a penny to get on the phone with me? So who is this for? Okay, guys, the questions are blowing up right now. Just give me a second to answer them all. Okay, who's this for? So people that sell or want to sell digital marketing to clients. People who believe and know they can do this if only they had the proper guidance. And people who are currently selling but just want to get there faster. And last but not least, people who understand they need to work smart and hard to get there. So I did make a lot of this sound, easy. I ranked in 45 seconds on Upwork, which I did. Um, but I still have to work hard on the proposals, still have to get on the phone with people. So it's easy work, but you do have to work hard and, quite a bit if you want to be super successful at this. Okay. Right now, I'm only working a couple hours a week on my SEO business, but that's because I worked hard at the beginning. So if all this stuff sounds good to you, well, here's more screenshots, which you can read on the replay if you want. All right. Craig gets his first client, Elance, all that good stuff. Guys, what I want you to do is go right now to ScopeRush.com/SS. And this is where you're going to find the application form to book this free call with me and the strategy session. So right now, we had 2,000 people register for this webinar, and there's over 300 people on the call. So my schedule over the next week can only handle 15 calls. So you have to apply right now. If you go to ScopeRush.com/SS, you'll be able to find the application, and if everything looks good, I'll be able to get on the phone with you, and you'll be able to actually book a time right then and there on this link to book a time to speak to me. Now, guys, this is only for people that want what we spoke about. If you're under 10 figures, or sorry, $10,000 per month, 5 figures, and you want to sort of get these consistent clients, grow your business to that amount, and you haven't been able to do so, then this call is for you. Okay? If you've never heard of SEO before, then this is not for you. But I want to help people, and I can really only handle 15 calls. My voice is dying right now. Imagine doing 15 calls over the next week. Okay, so you're going to go to ScopeRush.com/SS. Okay. Someone said, what about the people who are broke and really hungry for success? It's still a free call, so you can apply. I'm not selling anything right now. Guys, once again, the link, ScopeRush.com/SS. Because I'm getting on the call with you, I'm not going to be able to answer way too many questions here, but we'll take a bunch in a moment. So yeah, that's it for this, guys. You can ask your questions now about the application. You can ask anything you want. Let me just show you what it looks like when you go to that link. Okay. So the first thing you're going to see is step 1 of 2. It's going to ask you for your first name, last name, email address, where I can call you at, or which your Skype, all that stuff. It's going to ask you to describe your business. And when you book your strategy session, the next page is going to open up my calendar, my Meet Me calendar, which you can actually just choose a time this week or next week and book that call with me. Okay. So that's all you got to do is go to the link and do that. All right, we're getting some questions in here. All right, Rachel says, do you need ranking proof first? It's a good question. For a freelance site, you do, because it definitely helps. In the beginning, I didn't, but if you want on the call, I can definitely explain how you can easily get ranking proof within 1 day. So it's really not that hard. It doesn't even have to be your own ranking proof. It just has to be genuine. It has to belong. You have to have the permission to use it, in other words, but it doesn't have to be yours. Okay. All right, guys, getting a whole bunch of applications here. But Mario, if you want to hop back on, we can close things up and we can stop the recording.
Awesome. Yeah. So just make sure the recording settings here are good. And before we close out, but I hope you guys really enjoyed that. Be sure to go to the link here. I will be sending out the replay shortly. and I will be sending the link out too, just in case you guys need that. Make sure that when you go through the application, if you do want to book a time with Lior, that you go all the way through, and after you enter in your information, basic information, the step 2 will give you times that he's able to talk. Sure, he's explained that. So that's about it, guys. We'll take questions for a few more minutes if any pop up, and then we'll close out.